from Fortaleza, Brazil, and we just wanted to give you a quick update. We're almost a month into our trip. I'm going to be coming home soon. We just spent 2 weeks in Rio and hosted the Liberdade School at the prayer room in Villa Mimosa. This was a prayer room that was started last summer at the World Cup that has continued and gone for 9 months now. And they've just been there in the middle of the largest red light district in Rio, doing steady prayer and works of justice, reaching out to the women that are trafficked in this area. Just wanted to share a really quick, awesome testimony. The last night of our school, our team we were getting ready to start our evening session of the school. Our team had gone into the red light district to meet with a woman that ended up never showing up for the meeting. But while they were waiting at the very entrance of the red light district, a man came up to them who was headed into the red light, and he just began asking them questions. What are you guys doing here? It doesn't look like you belong here. Why are you here? And they began asking him the same question. They told him, we're from a church just down the street. We're here waiting for a friend. What are you doing here? And he began to tell them he'd never been to Villa Mimosa before, but he'd heard about it from lots of friends, and he was just curious. And one of the girls on the team had a word of knowledge that he was married and his marriage was struggling. He didn't have a wedding ring on, and she just began to share that with him, and he began to just eyes get big and shared with our team that his marriage was struggling, that his wife had left him, that they had a newborn baby, but things were not good at home, and he was very angry and confused and had just ended up wandering into Villa Mimosa out of curiosity to potentially buy a woman for sex. And so he met our team, and we just said, hey, why don't you come back to church with us? Come to this service, it's just down the street. And he said, okay. He came in. God so encountered him. Multiple people came up to him, praying for him throughout the night. He was just deeply touched by the word. And then at the end, we began singing a song in the prayer room that, try as I might to find another lover, I find there is no other. Only you, Lord, satisfy. And that song was right for this man's heart, and he ended up giving his life to the Lord. He stayed till the lights turned off that night, walked out the door with our team, and is just dramatically encountered the Lord. Just one man headed into the red light district to buy a woman in the place of hurting and brokenness over his marriage, and ends up encountering Jesus. And so that's just one of the stories that are coming out of this little prayer room in the heart of Rio de Janeiro that is just faithfully continuing to pray and reach out to this very dark area of Rio. And so it was amazing to be there and just continue to equip this team. We did an all-day training with them on just kind of going deeper into outreach and how do we really sustain this lifestyle of prayer and reaching out to women in such desperate places. And so we're so excited about what God's doing in Rio and is continuing to do. And we've got the Olympics coming up next summer on August 2016. So we're going to be there in Rio praying next summer. And so that was our time in Rio. Now we're in Fortaleza, and Tim will tell you a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a continuation of just the testimony of what the Lord's been doing with us here in Brazil. I mean, so many people got touched at the School Liberdade in Rio, and now we're in Fortaleza. We're at the Iris Global School of Missions. This is the first one they've hosted in Fortaleza, and our dear beloved friends, Herb and Lorelei, are the leaders at this missions base, and it's one of the most thriving Iris mission bases in the world right now. And it is such an honor that we've been invited here with them to train some of their students at their first mission school, and we are seeing hearts transformed this week like I have never seen before. These students are so hungry for the word. They're so hungry to give themselves in such a radical and sacrificial way for the gospel being proclaimed in the nations of the earth. And we're just seeing day in and day out as we're with them, and this community of people is just growing tighter and tighter together, that I know they're just going to have such impact on the mission field. They're not short-term missionaries. These are long-term missionaries who are going to give their life on the mission field. And it's amazing to see them just come together in community and in fellowship and in worship and prayer and the word, and really get a theological understanding, really get an understanding of community and working together. And really being prepared to go to the hardest and darkest places of the earth. I know many of these students are going to be going to the middle of the East and like just proclaiming the gospel to Muslims all across the Middle East, and probably one of the most darkest times in that area. So it's been a pleasure to be here. It's been an honor, and we're just excited that wherever we go, it seems like people are getting set free. Even in the school this week, we're just preaching and teaching, and students' hearts are just getting opened. They're becoming alive, and the Lord's setting them free from things in their past, and they're truly being trained to go out to the mission field. So it's such an honor to be here, and we're excited for, I think next week we're going to Recife, then we're heading down to Salvador, which is probably one of the hardest and darkest cities here in Brazil. And we can't do it without you. So we're extremely grateful. We're thankful for your partnership, and just can't wait to share more of the testimonies of what the Lord's doing in Brazil and what He's doing in the nations of the earth. God bless you. We love you, and thank you very much.
Bye.
Ciao.